The Mevlana Museum. The Mevlana Museum, located in Konya, Turkey, is one of the country's most significant cultural, historical, and spiritual landmarks. It is a pilgrimage site for people worldwide, drawn by the timeless philosophy of its most famous resident, Jalaluddin Muhammad Rumi. Here is a comprehensive look at the museum, its history, architecture, and collections. The legacy of Mevlana Rumi. The museum is the former dervish lodge, tekke, and the final resting place of Mevlana Jalal Muhammad Rumi, 1207–1273, often simply called Rumi. The mystic and poet. Rumi was a 13th-century Persian Sufi mystic, theologian, and poet. He is revered worldwide for his teachings on universal love, tolerance, and unity. The Mevlevi Order. Rumi's teachings became the foundation for the Mevlevi Order, better known as the Whirling Dervishes. The museum complex was the spiritual center for this order for nearly 7 centuries. His famous invitation summarizes his inclusive philosophy. Come, come, whoever you are, our lodge is not a lodge of despair. With 100 repentance unheeded, you may be, still, come. History and transformation. The site's history is one of continuous spiritual importance and transformation. Original site. The land was originally the beautiful rose garden of a Seljuk palace, gifted by Sultan Alauddin Kayikobad to Rumi's father, Bahauddin Walad, who was a renowned Islamic scholar. The mausoleum. Rumi was buried next to his father after his death in 1273. The construction of the mausoleum, known as the Green Dome, Kaaba Hudra, began in 1274, financed by Seljuk emirs and nobles. The complex gradually expanded with additions like a kitchen, ritual hall, and dervish cells over the centuries. Conversion to a museum. The Dervish Lodge was closed in 1925 following the establishment of the Turkish Republic. By decree of Mustafa Kemal Atatürk, it was converted into a museum and opened to the public on March 2, 1927. It was officially renamed the Mevlana Museum in 1954. Architecture and layout. The museum complex covers about 18,000 square meters and is a stunning example of Seljuk and Ottoman architecture. The Green Dome, Kaaba Hudra. The most recognizable feature is the striking fluted dome, covered in distinctive turquoise tiles. Supported by 4 pillars, this dome sits directly over the mausoleum chamber and has become the iconic symbol of Konya. The courtyard and structures. You enter the complex through the dervish and caps gate of the dervishes, leading into a marble-paved courtyard surrounded by key buildings. The Mausoleum Hall. This is the sacred core of the complex. The sarcophagi of Mevlana Rumi, his father, Bahauddin Veled, and his son, Sultan Veled, are housed here. The tombs are covered in velvet shrouds, heavily embroidered with gold thread. Rumi and his son's sarcophagi are topped with large turbans, symbolizing their spiritual authority. Samahin, Ritual Hall. This large hall, built during the Ottoman period, was where the Mevlevi Dervishes performed the Sema ceremony, the famous whirling ritual. It now serves as an exhibition space. Small mosque, Masjid. Adjoining the Samahin, this area displays valuable carpets, illuminated Qurans, and examples of Ottoman calligraphy. Dervish cells. Lined along the courtyard, these 17 cells were the living quarters for the dervish students. They now contain ethnographic displays, featuring mannequins, and artifacts that depict the daily life and practices of the Mevlevi Dervishes. Matbah kitchen. Located in the southwest corner, this was used for cooking and for training novice dervishes. It is now decorated with mannequins to show its historical function. Key collections and artifacts. The museum is a repository of priceless artifacts related to the Mevlevi Order and Islamic art. Holy relic. A highly revered exhibit is a casket that is believed to contain strands of the holy beard of Muhammad Rumi. Manuscripts. The museum holds ancient and valuable copies of Rumi's great literary works, including the Mevlevi, a 25,000-verse poem, and the Divan Kibar. Dervish items. Exhibits include the personal belongings of Rumi and other high-ranking dervishes, such as clothing, caps, wooden practice boards, and musical instruments used during the Sema. Textiles and calligraphy. The collections include rare carpets, prayer rugs, such as an 18th-century Corsair prayer rug, and fine examples of Ottoman calligraphy and binding. Visitor information. The museum is both a historical site and an active place of worship and spiritual devotion. Dress code. Visitors are asked to dress respectfully. Shoulders and knees must be covered. It is recommended for women to bring a head covering for certain areas within the mausoleum. Shoe covers. Plastic shoe covers are provided at the entrance and must be worn inside the main buildings to preserve the historical flooring. Sema ceremonies. While the formal Sema ceremony is no longer a daily event within the museum itself, traditional performances are often held nearby, particularly in the Rose Garden during the summer months, typically Thursday nights. The most significant ceremonies take place annually in December to commemorate Rumi's death, known as Sebayaris, the wedding night, which Rumi considered his reunion with God. The tranquil atmosphere and historical depth make the Mevlana Museum a truly unique and moving experience for visitors interested in history, architecture, poetry, or the Sufi tradition. Address: Azitiyah, New Zealand CD, NO:1, 42030, Konya, Turkey. I hope you are entertained by the results of the videos and photos during my visit to the Mevlana Museum in Konya, Turkey.
For all my friends there, thank you very much for supporting me. And if you want, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Okay? See you in my next content.